Okay, so let's start off with our usual warm up. Okay, so still just marching on the spot. Okay, so keep going while a few more people get in. Okay, and let's move our spine a little bit. So just kind of breathe out while looking down, breathe in while bring your chest bone up to the ceiling, arching it back slightly, maybe looking up slightly. Okay, and just repeat. So breathing out, okay, and breathing in. Okay, slowly, maybe exaggerate the motion a little bit. Maybe 3 to 5 times. Okay, and let's go left and right. Okay, so we'll just still open at the chest, maybe open at the hands as well, fingers slightly back. Okay, and you're just going to turn left and right. Okay, try to almost press the palm out a little bit. Maybe feel a little bit of stretch in the front of the arm. 3 to 5 times per side. Okay, a little bit of side bending. We're going to have one hand kind of curl like this, other hand pop up, fingers down. Okay, you're going to tilt your head towards the side of the fingers. Okay, if you feel more comfortable, you can just kind of start your feet. Or you can keep going if you want to. Okay, let's try to open the hand and curl the hand on the other side. Okay, and coming back, just shake it off. Okay, rotate the shoulders a few times. Okay, and let's rotate the entire body. So moving the shoulders, moving your back, okay, moving your hips as well. So also the feet. Okay, so your toes should kind of turn towards the direction you're going. Okay, let's stop the feet a little bit more and just focus on rotating through the spine a little bit more. So hips move less, feet move less. Okay, try to bring your hand front and back. Try to touch the opposite side of the hips. Okay, and let's go forward and back. Okay, let's just also try to move forward and back at the same time. So we're weight shifting from the back leg to the front leg. Okay, so just a little bit of weight shift. You can move your feet a little wider apart. Okay, see if you can slowly touch the shoulders, bring your elbows a little bit higher, feeling the muscle in your mid back, tightening up a little bit. Okay, let's switch legs. Okay, so other leg forward. Okay, still trying to shift your weight from the back leg to the front. Okay, so keep going. Okay, and let's go roll side to side a little bit more. Okay, so we are just going to turn once again, but this time see if you can bring arms a little high up, rotating through the entire body. Okay, see if you can bring your shoulders a little higher, so try to cover your ear from the side. Okay, and try to rotate your entire body. So if I'm looking at you, you should see the side. Okay, and let's just do both arms together and just go in a bigger circle around. Okay, just as big of a circle as you can without going into pain. And maybe switch direction. Okay, smaller circle. See if you can push your elbows forward while bringing the hands back. Okay, so elbows forward, hands back. So if you look on the side, my elbow is pointing forward, hands is pointing backwards. Okay, so you feel a little bit of tension in the back of the shoulders. Okay, opposite direction, we're going to get the elbows up. Okay, and the hands down. Okay, maybe a little bit higher up. Bring it back up as you. And lift the hands as you rotate the entire arm back. Okay, so you rotate the hand back. Okay, and I want to adjust the wrist. Okay, and onto the fingers. Okay, opening, closing the tips of the fingers. Okay, try to pull your fingers back, so reach out, open the palm up as much as you feel comfortable. Okay, side to side. Okay, shaking out. Okay, onto the lower body. Okay, just a hip circle, relaxing the back so that your spine kind of bends sideways a little bit. Okay, 35 times per direction. Okay, still practicing the hinge pattern, which is just bending from the hips. Knees may be relatively straight, spine long. Okay, so you're pushing your hips back, and your upper body naturally kind of bends forward. Okay, or I see a little bit of stretch behind the legs. Okay, going on to the squatting pattern. So same, more or less the same stance. Okay, but bending the knees a little bit more this time. Okay, sitting on a tall stool. The upper body still bends forward because you're still pushing hips back. So technically, your knees stay more or less behind your toes. You can go a little bit lower if you want to. Okay, and we are going to widen the stance. Next, okay, so still kind of a squat, but a wider squat going towards one side a little bit more. Okay, feeling the stretches inside of the groin. Okay, still pushing our hips back. Upper body still leans forward as we push our hips back. Okay, and then wide stance front to back. Okay, so square the hips, bring the front of your belt buckle up, or your belts up, and you're just going to push the hips forward. And then you're going to try to drive the back heel down and backwards. Okay, so you're pulling your hips forward and then pushing your heel back. And you're just trying to open up the front of the hips. Okay, so the front knee should be still kind of behind the toes. Okay, shake it off if you need to. Okay, and same thing on the other side. Okay, so belt going forward and up, heel going downwards and back. Okay, you can just kind of just contract and relax. Okay, 35 times. Hold on to something if you need to. Okay, and let's just rotate the hips a little bit. So just kind of put out an imaginary cigarette. Okay, and go into a circle once again, holding onto something if you need, or just kind of drag your toe across the floor, which would probably makes it easier to balance. Okay, draw the circle, half circle, try to draw it further behind you. The front usually take care of itself. Okay, so focus your attention on trying to draw a bigger circle in the back half. Okay, same thing on the other leg. Okay, focus on drawing further behind you. Okay, 3 to 5 times each direction. Okay, and bending the knees a little bit more. Okay, just kicking the heel up. Okay, and just ankles forward and back. Okay, side to side. And just go into a circle. Okay, and the toes as well, if you can. Okay, so that was the quick 10-minute warm-up. Okay, so let's do the 10-minute round. Okay, so every 30 seconds, you're going to do something slightly more complicated or slightly harder. Okay, so faster or is this kind of relative? Okay, so just go as fast as you want to, go at your own pace. The goal is still just slightly out your breath. Okay, so if it is easy for you, you might even have to speed up. Okay, and vice versa. Okay, so still starting off a little bit relatively slower, a little bit but faster than warm up. Okay, if you want, start to pick up the pace. Okay, let's check the surroundings first. Okay, so let's go front to back a little bit. So make sure your floor is not slippery. Okay, so just a few steps forward and a few steps back. Okay, so we can just do almost like an environmental scan just to make sure we are enough space front to and back of us. Okay, while we just get our heart rate a little bit faster. Okay, so for myself, I'm just slowly picking up the pace. Okay, I'm just going to go side to side for the next round. Okay, once again, you can do a quick check. Okay, so still try to breathe in, deeper into the belly area. Okay, so just a few quick steps side to side. Okay, so check how you're doing. Okay, you can always do the talk test again, where you just try to say a short sentence, or you can just count out loud. Okay, see if it's how far you can count up to. Okay, you should want to take a breath after a short sentence. Okay, that's kind of more or less moderate intensity. Okay, so still going forward next. Okay, but a little bigger. Okay, so we take a bigger step, reaching a little forward. Okay, so left leg, right arm, and then the opposite. Okay, so a bigger step forward. Okay, and then a little bit of a reach. Okay, if the knees bothers you, just take a shorter step. But if you can go a little bit bigger step. Okay, or you can even move one foot forward and then the opposite end. Okay, you don't necessarily have to take a step either. Okay, so it could be just a tap in front. Okay, same for the side. You can take either move, I guess, one leg in one direction and then reach, turn your body as well. So the leg can be just a tap. You can do a bigger step. Okay, completely up to you and how that feels for your knees. Okay, so it'll be a step and turn, step and turn. Okay, so it could be just a tap. Okay, could be a bigger step. Okay, but try to rotate your body as well. So it'll be opposite arm reaching to the side. Okay, next one we're going to do almost backwards, so you take a step back. So I'm going to check, make sure I have enough space behind you. I'm going to reach down. As I step forward, I'm going to reach upwards. Okay, so I'm going to take one leg back. Okay, and as I reach up, I'm just going to bring both arms up. Okay, so we're just kind of going backwards this time. Okay, so we're also kind of doing what's called like a backwards lunge. You can kind of alternate between the two legs. Okay, from the side, I'm just tapping one foot back, both arms reaching backwards, arms going as high as I can without going into pain. You can match your breathing if you want, so kind of probably easy. Breathe out and breathe in. Okay, kind of similar. Okay, so when it goes back to side to side, but this time more exaggerated, going downwards a little bit. So you can reach down a little bit more and bring it up, reach down and up. Okay, so still kind of reaching side to side, but more exaggerated the up in the air motion of the arms. Okay, you can bend your knees whatever way you feel comfortable. Okay, so maybe a little bit lower. Okay, not kind of marching as much. Reaching down, maybe bending a little forward. Okay, rotate for the hips. Okay, take this as slowly as you need to, so you're not twisting your knees. Okay, move your feet, move your hips. Okay, if you feel comfortable, of course, you can go faster. Okay, and we're just gonna go side to side with both arms in front. Okay, we're just gonna do kind of a chop across the front. Okay, and we're also not going to be moving our feet as much. Okay, just not marching, but still rotating for the feet, rotating for the hips. Okay, and it's getting too bright with my camera. Okay, so just draw a big X in front, rotate for the body, turn your toes to the direction you're moving. Okay, almost in bigger motion. Okay, but pain-free. Okay, and back to the marching. Okay, we're going to reach a little bit lower, so feet will be slightly wider. We are going to kind of squat one way, going to reach towards one knee. The other hand goes back, okay, and you're going to kind of rotate between the two sides, okay, and your weight, your hips kind of shift a little bit side to side. Okay, so we're going to reach down, try to open up the hand on the opposite side as well, rotating through the hips a little bit again. I'm not squatting down too much. I'm mostly kind of hinging through my hips again. Okay, so you don't need to squat down too low. Okay, but try to open up. Think of stretching the arms out in opposite directions. Okay, and back to the marching. Okay, last one, we are going to go into a bit of a squat. Okay, so we're going to reach more like a little bit lower, so squatting down a little bit lower. So hips still back, knees bend a little bit more. This time reaching up, going onto our tiptoes. Okay, so that's the last round of our 10-minute set. Okay, so reaching down, reaching up. Okay, only go as far, as low as you feel comfortable. Hinge for the hips. Okay, probably more comfortable that way for your knees. Okay, only go as low as you feel comfortable. Same thing on the way up. Couple more seconds. Okay, and slowing back down a little bit. Okay, if you want, once again, always check your pulse. You can check your breathing. Okay, always monitor how intense it is for you. You can make a record if you want to. But now focus on just gradually coming back down. Okay, so as a cool down, let's just still do the walking with the head turn. Okay, so you can just walk forward and back. If you don't feel comfortable, grab as many chairs around, use a wall. Okay, so looking side to side first. Okay, next one, maintain focus on something. Okay, while you turn your head side to side. Okay, could feel a little difference. Okay, if it makes you feel dizzy, just stop. Okay, same thing on the up and down. So still, you can start off with just looking up and down. Okay, and afterwards, see if we maintain focus on something as you move your head up and down. Okay, so hopefully heart rate is a little back there. Okay, so let's take a 2-minute break. Okay, so right now it's 9:53. Let's come back at around 9:55. You don't have to do all the sets. Okay, just do as much as you want to. Okay, we just want kind of 10 minutes at a time, moderate intensity. Okay, so see everyone in 1 minute now, almost 1.5. Also, if you have a towel, let's also grab it as well. If you don't, that's okay. You can still follow along your arms. Okay, so let's ramp up for our second set. And once again, can choose to gradually go faster. Okay, first round, let's kind of still warm up our shoulders as we usually do. Just flick it over and behind the head. Okay, elbows starting off just maybe to shoulder height or so. Okay, when you feel comfortable, see if you can drive up a little higher up. Okay, so still start off with just elbow to shoulder height. If that's okay for you, you can slowly elbow to forehead height. And of course, you can bring it back down a little bit, your shoulders get tired. Okay, next one, same idea, but just single arm. Okay, we're gonna do the stepping forward like we did in the first set. Okay, so you're just gonna step forward as you bring it overhead. Okay, as you step back, you're just gonna flick it down to the side of one leg. Okay, so be a step, as you step up, step back, come back down. Okay, so okay, you can even just do forward and back step, sorry. Okay, so you step forward and up, step back and down. Okay, other arm can be just doing whatever it wants to do. Okay, back arm might be slightly tired. Okay, we're just going to repeat on the outside. Okay, so just from the side angle this time. Okay, step forward, opposite arm and leg. Okay, you can exaggerate motions a little bit more if you want to. It kind of similar to what we did in the first set. Okay, so we're going to be working on a little bit more rotation today. So kind of like what we did in the first set, you're just going to swing through one way. Okay, back up, swing, open up, swing, open. Okay, so not just arms and the spine, rotate through the hips as you reach up, and then just open back up to like a open position as you come back. Okay, so be up, open, okay, so shoulders back. Okay, a little bit more awkward to towel. Okay, so probably easier if you just flick it back a little bit harder. Okay, if it makes you feel dizzy, just keep looking forward. Okay, otherwise you can follow the towel. Okay, and you can just go back to the march. So probably a little slow that time. So I'm choosing to get my heart rate back up a little bit by marching a little bit faster. Okay, kind of same thing on the side. Okay, so maybe slightly awkward, something maybe a little different. Okay, that's not a bad thing for our brain. Okay, so feel slightly dizzy with the turning, so I'm going to look forward. Okay, kind of going fast and way down seems to make it a little bit easier. Okay, so let's still go back to the 12 ends. Okay, let's just do what we did before with the arm squats. We're just going to cross it side to side. Okay, so we're going to move your feet again. So okay, with the towel, you might be able to just apply a little bit more force because you have something to pull against. Okay, you don't have to go fast all the way around. You can just choose to flick it down, maybe a little harder on the way down. Okay, move for the hips, move for the toes. Okay, so shoulders probably getting a little tight. Okay, so let's take it a little easier on the shoulders for now. Moving on to the hips. Okay, so we're going to work on kind of our power, our explosiveness. Okay, so you're going to have, next one, you're going to have the feet a little bit wider apart. You're going to fling the towel between your feet. Okay, as you stand up, you're going to drive the hip, almost imagine you're almost jumping up and launch, and you go to launch it, the towel upwards. Okay, so I'm just standing up kind of quickly. My arms are not actually doing much, so you can see that it comes up pretty slowly. Okay, but I'm kind of flinging it up with my feet. I'm thinking of standing tall, and that drives the towel up. Okay, less of the arms, more with our hips and thighs. Okay, and if your hands are tight, so you can just kind of let it rest for a second. Okay, let's do the same thing as last round. Okay, but this time a little faster on the way down. Okay, that will help to load the hips. Okay, and kind of launch it back up the hips as well. Okay, so on the way up, a little bit faster on the way down. Okay, so a little more force downwards. Okay, and capture the hips, and then launch it back down. Okay, so you almost think of playing chicken with your crotch. Okay, so you fling the towel down, at the last second, move out of the way, so that we don't hit ourselves. Okay, and just kind of launch it back up with the legs. Okay, so last round for this set. Okay, let's go side to side. Okay, so this time, hold it close to the body, rotate for the hips a little bit more. Okay, so less of the arms, more with the hips. Okay, remember, you're not twisting your knees, you're turning your toes. You're not twisting your spine because you're moving your hips as well. Okay, so start off maybe a little bit slower, toes with your nose. Okay, and as you feel comfortable, go side to side a little bit more. Okay, if you go really fast, toes should be kind of pointing almost outwards. Okay, and you just drive into the hips, staying tight through your stomach, through your trunk. Okay, in order to lift the towel side to side. Okay, and once again, gradually slowing down. Okay, so let's do the same thing as before. Still walking forward and back. Okay, but this time try to see if you can have your toe or your feet a little bit closer together. Okay, and if you feel comfortable, do the head turning and the focus, the eye focus as well. Okay, so and also the one where you actually look where your head is going. Okay, so that one might actually make it a little bit harder to balance. Okay, because our body follows where our eyes are. So we just intentionally practice where we're looking somewhere, but making sure our body doesn't follow along and fall in that direction. Okay, we're seeing with up and down. Okay, so let's take a 2-minute break again. Okay, so right now 10:07. Okay, let's come back around 10:09. Okay, make sure you have enough fluids if you feel like you sweated, or even if you just was breathing a little faster. Okay, so let's get ready for last round, or last set rather. Okay, so I can feel my shoulders slightly more tense. Just trying to relax it a little bit more. Okay, first round, let's still do the side-to-side walk, but combine it with the front and back. Okay, so you're just going to be kind of zigzagging side to side. Okay, as you go a little bit forward, a little bit back. Okay, take it as slow as you need to again. Okay, so I'm just going forward, slightly diagonal. Okay, just practicing different ways to move our body around. Okay, see if you can always point in the almost same direction as you move. Okay, and you can also, of course, change which way you're facing, okay, but still moving in a zigzag. Okay, next one, we're just gonna go play the floor is lava. So it's gonna, the floor is very hot. You're gonna have to step pretty quickly. Okay, you're gonna go front, kind of together a little faster. Okay, and then apart a little faster. Okay, so together, just a little quicker than before. Okay, and a little bit wider, also a little bit quicker. Okay, so together. Okay, apart. Okay, in, out. Okay, so faster once again is relative. Okay, so it doesn't have to be extremely fast, just faster for you. Okay, so we're still alternating between in and out. Okay, so calves maybe a little more tired. Okay, let's do the hips a little bit more. So we're just gonna bring the knees a little high up, go into a little bit flatter on our feet, okay, but bring our knees up, okay, hands up as well. Okay, so just exaggerate motion, giving the calves a little bit of a rest. Okay, so you're stepping flat, a little more flat on your feet. Okay, elbow to just shoulder height is completely fine. Focus on bringing your knee a little higher up. Okay, without bending over, so stay tall as you bring your knee up. Okay, and maybe going back to a quicker lunge. Okay, a little bit combination movement. Okay, you're going to take a little bit of a step towards one side, point your toes in that direction. Okay, and you're going to turn your entire body, bring your knee up. Okay, so imagine you try to knee someone towards one side, come back, step out, toes pointing out to that direction, bring your knee up. Okay, so we step out, out. Okay, actually, you know what? Just it'll be easier if you just have the feet pointing out. Okay, and you're just turning your body and you are bringing your knee up with a turn in the trunk. Okay, so it could be just a small motion, turn your trunk. Okay, next one kind of similar, but we're going to do a kick instead. So instead of kneeling someone, you're just going to click that way and switch. Okay, once again, it doesn't have to be too high. It could be just a tap as well if that's more comfortable for you. Okay, but rotate for the hips, toes kind of pointing out towards both sides to start off with. Okay, so we just a little bit of a flick, a little bit of a tap. So it could be a tap. Okay, or if you feel comfortable, a little bit of a kick. Okay, you don't have to kick very hard. Probably don't kick very hard if you have knee problems. Okay, just a gentle reach almost. Arms, just whatever you need to do to stay balanced. Okay, similar idea, but we're just going to kick backwards. So we're just doing the cross step behind you. Okay, just very similar to before. Okay, except you're going behind the leg instead of in front. Okay, so just reach behind. Okay, once again, arms, just whatever you need to do to stay balanced. Okay, if that's easy for you, see if you can almost lift it off the floor a little bit. Okay, probably arms going the same direction, so makes it easier to balance. Okay, so next one is just a full cross step. Okay, so take this one as slowly as you need to. So one step forward, come back up, one step back, bring out. Okay, so just step, step, step. So just kind of forward and back a little bit. Okay, so take this as slowly as you need to, and you don't have to cross it too much. It could be just slightly in front, slightly in the back. Okay, but if you feel comfortable, can choose to go a little faster, only if you feel safe doing so. Okay, and let's bring ourselves back up to speed. Okay, let's just move our arms a little bit faster, still keeping the steps. Okay, and let's just slowly rotate through the feet. Okay, so you just slowly bring one foot forward, one foot back, okay, while kind of reaching forward or punching forward. Okay, if you want, you can try to add a turn just a little bit more quickly. So we're just doing more rotations for today. Once again, calves might be starting to feel a little bit more tired. Okay, for the last round, let's just go back to the squatting pattern again. Okay, so let's just squat down, opening up, okay, and as you step up, kind of bring both arms up as well. So up could be just forehead level. Okay, so it'll be just down and up. Okay, once again, stick your bum out, load the hips, not just the knees. Okay, let's go side to side a little bit. So just mini squat, okay, and then a clap on one side. A couple more seconds. And gradually slowing back down again. Okay, focus on your breath. Breathe into our belly area. Okay, so sit down if you need to, but move your feet. You can just keep pumping your legs if you are sitting down. Okay, same practice as before, but this time if you want, maybe try to see if you have one eye closed and see how that feels. Okay, probably makes it a little bit more challenging. Okay, once again, you don't have to be so narrow, it could be just a little wider. Okay, whatever that is slightly difficult, but still feels kind of safe doing it. The goal is just to get comfortable in when something changes. Okay, so let's do our usual stretches. It's just the ones of the calves and the front of the hips. Okay, so we're more or less out of time, so we'll just do it quickly. If you need to, just do it longer afterwards. Okay, but just whenever we're marching, we do use the calves a lot. We do use the front of the hips. Okay, so let's stretch out those parts. Okay, so once again, anything that can get your toes higher than your heels. Okay, and then just try to bring your weight over the front leg, the leg being stretched. Okay, trying to slow down our breath a little bit more. Switch whenever you want to. Okay, and sometimes it's not a bad idea to also kind of massage the bottom of the feet. So this is like a lacrosse ball, like a tennis ball could probably work. It's just a little softer, but you can also just kind of give the bottom of your feet a little bit of massage. So I'm just stepping on it. A golf ball probably is going to be too hot. Like an actual baseball could probably work, but just be careful that it might be more slippery. So you might want to do it sitting down instead. But just make sure it's kind of, I guess, shadow-proof. Okay, but this is something you can consider doing as well. Okay, just to loosen up the connective tissues in the underneath the feet. Okay, and lastly, the same one we always do. Okay. Usually, just because we sit too much, we probably usually too tight in the hips, so we do this very often. Okay, so once again, belt buckle up and forward, heel down and back. So you try and separate, pull open the front of your hips. Okay, one pulling from the front, okay, and also pulling or pushing from the back as well. So a little bit low on time, so let's just quickly switch. Okay, and that's it for today. So good job, everyone. Thank you for coming. See everyone next time. Bye. See you later. Bye-bye.